So
Yeah, so a few people let me know that they couldn't make it today too. So
yeah.
Mm.
don't worry.
Okay. All right.
Good evening. I'm here, but
Oh,
I
you're
have
here. Oh, you're here. Oh,
half hour.
oh, good to hear. Good to see you. Now we have to make you talk today. I'm just kidding.
Nice to see you too.
Next time, then. But
I
thank you.
am sorry I don't can talk today, but I'm nice to see for everybody.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Really appreciate you making in here today. All right. So, good evening, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our lecture number 4 of the second course from STEM with Ukraine on leadership in academia. And today we have a very important topic, time management, which is critical for all of us. So, when we have different opportunities, that we don't miss them, but also in academia, we carry so many hats. So it is really important that we learn how to be to do all these activities, to do our responsibilities, and at the same time to be still humans and be happy academically wise and personally wise. So again, thanks to Andreas and for Olga, other STEM with Ukraine coordinators, for helping with the course. And just to orient ourselves where we are in the course, so we already had 3 lectures, right, on networking, growth mindset, emotional intelligence, and today we want to learn how to apply all of them and manage all of them and manage our life. So we will have 3 speakers today. Sarah Dobrievich-Klajic. I'm so sorry, Sarah. I don't pronounce it correctly. From I appreciate this. From Austria. Rachel McGuinness from United States, from Middle Tennessee State University, and Olga Leshko, one of STEM with Ukraine coordinators, but also one of the speakers today, who is a teacher and PhD student. We, as you can see, they are representatives of different areas from academia. We have done this on purpose because each of us have some of the jobs that each of them are doing. So we want to see their experience, learn from them, and they are really, really successful on what they do. So they obviously know how to do this. So we want to learn from them practical tips how to do this. At the same time, you will probably hear that, as you probably know, there are many, many books on time management. In addition to reading them, the hardest part is to apply and to practice things and find what works for you. So you will probably find that many of the techniques our speakers will present today will probably overlap, okay? Which is probably it's okay because maybe that's the technique that works for them, and maybe that can work for us, okay? So because this is really about practicing things, not learning about things, so this lecture is not probably a lecture. I would like this to we would like this to be more like a engage and discussion conversation. So after each presenter or during each presentation, please don't hesitate to put your questions into the Dropbox or Dropbox. I have been working too much into the chat window or raise your hand, okay? But make sure you don't miss the opportunity to ask a question. And at the very, very end, we will have a discussion session. Like, what did you find the most useful? What did you find the practical method for yourself? Anyways, what I'm trying to say, let's make it engaging as much as possible because it's not about lecturing, it's about how to apply it in real life today. Okay, so with this, I would like to end my part for now and give the floor to Sarah. So Sarah, thank you very much for agreeing to be here today, for your participation in STEM with Ukraine, and looking forward to your presentation. So floor is yours. And I stop sharing and Sarah shares the slides, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm very thankful and grateful for this opportunity today. I will just quickly share my slides with you one moment. So, do you see the presentation? I'm not sure as to which slide you are now seeing.
We see your first slide, and if you want, you can make it like full screen. Yeah. Okay. I think it's.
Mhm.
I think we see, or maybe keep it as it was because we see your next slide's notes. I think it should be presentation mode. You muted, Sarah.
So just a moment, I apologize for the wait.
Oh,
Please, it's okay.
no,
I'm
no.
always dealing with technology issues almost
Yes,
every day, I think. So it's okay.
Oh no.
yes, no worries at all.
So I believe that now you should be able to see the right one.
Correct. And now let's go to the slide number 1. Yes, wonderful. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for your patience, everybody. So hi, I am very grateful once again to be able to present to you today. It is very nice seeing you all here. I hope you have all been having a wonderful week until now, even though time is passing us by quickly. I would like to shortly introduce myself. My name is Sara Dobrijevic-Kljajic, and I am currently an administrative intern at the Institute for Diversity and International Relations at the University College of Teacher Education in Styria. That means Graz, Austria. We are also partner institution with Drohobych Ivan Franko State Pedagogical University, with the Kirovohrad Volodymyr Pinyenchko State Pedagogical University, and Yuri Petkovich Chernyvtsi National University. I hope you will find my tips and my strategies for time management today useful and hopefully also helpful, and it will help you for your day-to-day work life. So what do I do and what does my job look like? I support the international office with various administrative tasks such as emails, protocols, calls, appointments, paperwork, and so on and so forth. But the biggest part of my workday is supporting our incomings coordinator and the international Erasmus incoming students. That means various student inquiries, signing the learning agreements, and I'm here for them for everything that they might need during their stay, before they stay, and also after their stay. So what is the importance of time management in administration? I believe it is important because we are balancing multiple responsibilities such as scheduling, student inquiry, like I mentioned, institution support, and managing all of the different deadlines, because all of the students and their home universities have different deadlines, as well as academic processes. So it is also important for the productivity, so that we can achieve a greater number of tasks with a higher level of quality. That means not only getting things done, but also doing them well and properly. For the efficiency, maximizing the efficiency of time management to ensure optimal outcomes, which then leads to balance, because when we are productive and efficient, we have our work balance and we can manage frequent interruptions, urgent requests, and all of the unexpected issues that may arise during our workday. And when we are balanced and know how to deal with those issues well, we have less stress, which means that the stress is reduced through the effective planning. As you can see, it is a circle and everything is connected. The more productive and efficient we are, we have more of a balance, which then leads to having less stress, which makes us all happier. This shows once again, I believe, exactly why the time management is an important part of an academic role. I am happy to share some of the key management strategies with you that have been working for me well so far. I have split them into 4 categories so that it makes it easier to present to you. The first one is prioritization. It is crucial for me to be able to tell which tasks are important and urgent and I have to get done at any cost in my day, and which of the tasks I may be able to postpone or move to a different day if I'm having too much stress or too much at my plate. So I like to use the Eisenhower matrix method for that. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that, but it is splitting the tasks into 4 quadrants. That means the tasks that are important and urgent, the tasks that are important but not urgent, the ones that are not important but are urgent, and the ones that are neither. That helps me prioritize and plan better and make sure that I am meeting all of my goals. Because it is easy to lose the balance of your day if you're not sure where you have to start and what you have to get done firstly. So that just allows you to flow through your day a bit more easier. The second strategy is planning and scheduling. That means using calendars, task lists, and all of the different digital tools that we have today at our disposal. I personally have my trusty old notebook that I carry with me to every single meeting and everywhere I go because I like to write things down by hand. And at the end of the day, my notebook does look like something like the little graphic that I put in the presentation because I use different markers, I use Post-its, exactly because of the Eisenhower matrix to help me stay on top of everything. It also offers me a routine and a way to start my day, because I know that every morning I will go through my book, I will go through my to-do list, see what has been left open from the previous day, and that just helps me get to have an overview of my efficiency and if I'm meeting all of the goals that I have set for myself, not on a daily basis, but on a weekly basis. The third strategy is time blocking and also allocating specific times for emails, for meetings, and focused work. I know it may sound silly, but I, for example, often have to write big informative emails for a large group of students, and that can sometimes take up to 2 or 3 hours if I'm being distracted or have things interrupting my workflow. And I have grown to learn that when I allocate a specific time, let's say half an hour or 40 minutes, where I can in peace go through the whole email to proofread it 3 times if needed, make sure I don't have any typos, make sure I have explained everything in an understandable way, prepare the attachments and also added the attachments that I have to add and made sure that everybody's in the email, I will have less stress at the end of the day and I won't be having to wake up in sweats in the middle of the night thinking, oh, did I send that attachment, didn't I? And I will also save time. It will help me work more efficiently. So allocating specific times for specific tasks does help long term. Even if it sounds silly, why should I plan half an hour for an email? It really is helpful, or it has proven to be helpful for me. The fourth strategy is communication. Just because it is fourth, it doesn't mean that it's any less important. I'm a firm believer that clear deadlines and good communication is a good base for everything. Especially as an intern, I support a lot of different people and I have to keep on top of a lot of different things. Everybody has different expectations for me, different deadlines. So making sure I have communicated that clearly and ask the right questions help me manage my tasks and my time more efficiently. When it comes to teamwork, I think weekly meetings, short emails during the day or every other day, just to make sure that we're not both doing the same thing and losing time, helps prevent miscommunication and help us all stay in the right track. We all face different challenges in our day-to-day. For me personally, some of the common challenges in my role are the constant emails, phone calls that disrupt the workflow, urgent tasks that then interfere with my planned schedule. Maybe something urgent happens and somebody knocks on my doors, one of the students needs something to sign urgently or just needs some help with anything. It can be very distracting. So I have found ways to overcome those and to stay on the right path for my day. That means being able to deal with those distractions in a way, even if they are last minute and unexpected, in a way that I will be able to find my way back to my to-do list, which is the base for my whole day and which is why I always take time in the morning to do it. Procrastination and workload overload is also a common challenge in my work because we do have such a large variety of tasks and different deadlines. It can all get a bit too much sometimes. I love my work to do being exciting and filled with so many different tasks, but it's that much more challenging to balance it. This is why I like the techniques like the Pomodoro technique, where you focus on a task at hand, you set a timer for 25 minutes, for example, and you make sure that you are working focusedly on that task for that 25 minutes. When the timer is up, you make a short break. You take a short walk, you go drink coffee, you drink water, do whatever you have to do, and then you go back to work. Or just simply breaking the large task into smaller, more manageable parts. That helps keep the day less chaotic, maybe. Using the 2-minute rule, if a task can be done in a 2 minutes or less, I'm doing it immediately. This helps me overcome a lot of the challenges because it keeps the clutter away. For example, if I receive an email that I know that I can quickly reply in a matter of a minute or so, I do it immediately. If I get handed paperwork that I need to scan or I need to file, I do it immediately because then that is out of the way and I can focus on more challenging tasks, on the tasks that may require more attention from me and take more time from me. And this is also a rule that I use for my private life. If I can get it done in 2 minutes, it's getting done immediately. And that leads me to the last one, is saying no politely. I think this is something that every one of us has to learn individually, because setting boundaries while remaining professional is not as easy as it sounds, I believe. It is difficult to say no sometimes if you're a person that maybe likes to be on top of things, likes to feel like you're accomplishing a lot and just simply do not like saying no, but it is very important for your own peace of mind. I think it is completely fine to say no if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you feel you do not have enough resources or enough time simply to get the task done well. It is just important to communicate it in the right way. You have to remain respectful and you have to remain professional and explain why you are saying no to. I'm sure that every colleague will understand you, but like I said, it is just about the way that you communicate it. Communication is a big part of any academic role, I think. Even when it comes to workload, overload, when you're feeling like you might be burning out or not being able to balance everything, I think communication opens a lot of doors, and I think most people will have empathy. Sometimes simply communicating these things will help you get a fresh perspective and get back on track for your task and for your time. I wanted to conclude this with a few personal tips and just go through everything that I already mentioned, is that effective time management is very crucial for boosting productivity and achieving this work-life balance that I think all of us are chasing after and trying to accomplish in life. By identifying the priorities, whichever method you choose to use, planning effectively, making sure you are reviewing everything and critically thinking about things that maybe still have been open, or how can I better myself in certain areas. It will all help you reach your goals more efficiently and have you have less stress and more time for other things. My personal tips and from my experience would be, once again, start your day with a plan. This is a base for everything that you're going to be doing. So invest those 5 minutes, however time you have to take for that, to make sure that you have a plan so that if anything happens, any distractions come your way, you know where you can look back at and you know how to get back to the right tracks. Use the digital tools. We are very lucky to have so many different digital tools today, whether it be the Outlook appointments, setting yourself a reminder, you have to file those papers today, such little silly things. Those are really helpful, because from my personal experience, I like to believe that I can remember everything. That hasn't always proven to be correct. So those little reminders help me keep on track. Post-its, I used to stick them all over my computer. They do get lost. They do get lost when I open the window, and then out of sight, out of mind. So use the digital tools. Batch similar tasks. It is often that I get emails where I just have files that I have to save in a certain desktop or folder. I will do that all at once. I will go through my emails and I will categorize them by color so that I can make sure that the similar tasks are being done at the same time. The same when it comes to filing, I will collect everything that I have to file that day, and then I know I have that out of the way, and I'm able to focus more better because it's the same type of work. It helps me be more efficient. Learn to say no. Once again, as difficult as it is, I think it's very important to be able to recognize when you have to say no for your own sake of mind. That is also a quality. It is not something that people will look down upon. It is a quality that people actually appreciate when you're able to say, I'm sorry, but no, I don't have the resources. I don't have the time for that. And lastly, take breaks to stay productive. We all have to be more kinder to ourselves, I believe. We all have enough stress as it is currently, and breaks, whether it is you are hungry, you just need a break from the screen for a moment. You need to have a glass of water. Those are not only important for your work, but for your overall well-being. When you are feeling well, you are able to perform well. So you have to take care of yourself firstly before you can take care of work and everything else. I hope you will find my presentation helpful. I hope I have maybe shown you some new tips or some new strategies that you can implement into your own day-to-day life. I would be very grateful if some of you could maybe share your own experiences, strategies. If you found something that was similar that you're also using, I would love to hear how you were implementing that. And if you have your own way of reducing stress in your work life or even private life that I haven't mentioned, I'd be very grateful and open to hearing, because I think this is an amazing opportunity we can all use to better ourselves mutually. So I would be happy to hear from you with your feedback. Thank you very much once again for your time.
Thank you, Sarah. That was fantastic, and thank you for sharing the practical tips. But also, I think just hearing from others, like your own experience, it makes such a huge difference. I remember last year I met a faculty, and she was like, "Let me see my schedule." And she was bringing calendar. I was like, "Oh, I'm not the only one who's doing this, And I think that just the fact hearing that somebody else is doing this is very, very helpful. Like you mentioned that you have like written calendars. Like I also have this. I have one and another one. It's for different things.
Exactly.
And just hearing that I'm not crazy, exactly right, that I'm not the only one. This is, I think, very, very helpful. So really, really appreciate that. I did want to ask you one more question. In the
Please.
very beginning, when you mentioned about, you have to, somebody can knock on your door, so many emails. How don't you get overwhelmed?
I think it's all about a mindset, honestly. I choose to not get overwhelmed. How it might sound silly, but I choose not to, because at the end of the day, it is all going to work out. I'm doing my best, and I'm sure that my colleagues and my team, I trust them enough to believe that they see that. You just have to stay kind and do the best with what you have been given, unfortunately. But it also helps that I really love my job. I really love my job. It really fulfills me, and I'm really happy with everything. So even when it gets too much, I'm still happy, and I think that also reflects on my work.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's such a great advice. Thank you. Anyone
Thank you.
else? Any questions at this point? If not, we will have another session for discussion, so don't worry. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So let's move to Rachel. Rachel, thank you, Sarah. And Rachel, let's go with you.
Okay, hold on 1 minute and I'll get this.
No worries. No worries. And Sarah, you mentioned about 2-minute rule. I found that if I can do that, if I don't do that, then I never answer the email, which is very, very bad. I found that.
And I never put the paperwork away, so I have to do it immediately.
Yes.
Once it gets too much, I know I won't be able to find the time for it.
The same, yeah. Okay, wonderful. Let's see.
How did you get that on the other screen, Sarah?
Sarah, how did you do it? Did it present as well?
Once you go to share the screen, you will have an option at the very beginning. You can choose between your first and the second screen. So I chose the screen that I usually see the presentation at. If you can go to share screen, maybe I can guide you.
Let's see.
The other screen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now?
Great.
Yes,
Fantastic.
Perfect.
Okay. I'm Rachel McGinnis. I'm the director of the Office of Research and Sponsored Programs here at MTSU. And our office takes care of submitting all the grants for the institution. I have 11 direct reports. 6 of them take care of grants. We also take care of research compliance in our office. And we do programming across campus that's research related. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of stuff that happens out of this office. It's constant chaos. Sarah, I hope I can be just a little bit as organized as you are, but I'm probably more all over the place. I do use some of your techniques though. So so we will see that. Actually, one of the things that I really love is we put on a training program. We help faculty write grants, and it's a 3-year program. That's one of the things that I really enjoy. But we are essentially an office of everything grants, and we are more service-based. So as you can imagine, we have constant faculty, staff, students that come into the office that want different things. And so trying to juggle that with time, along with trying to have a work-life balance, is very interesting at times. So my time management tips, I'm just going to go over. Hold on, you probably can see that. Is that better? Okay, so the number one thing that I use is Asana. It's a program management software, but really any program management software will do. And this keeps track of all of my staff and what they're doing, along with everything that I do. And I put work and non-work stuff on my Asana so that I can keep track of things. Also, I use a to-do list. As Hannah knows, on Sunday, I spend a lot of time getting my to-do list ready. But that to-do list, I put everything that I'm thinking about on it. And then I organize it by what's the priority, what's most important. And then I pick one daily highlight a day, and that's the one thing that I know I'm going to get done. So it doesn't matter what happens, the phone, the email, people coming into the office, that one daily highlight, I make sure I get done every day. That's the top of my to-do list. And at the end of the day, I will reorganize the priorities, because throughout the day, new priorities come in, and I have to move things around. So I do a lot of time blocking on my calendar also, Sarah, so that I can keep track of things. And I also leverage artificial deadlines. So if I have something that's due in 3 weeks and I don't put an artificial deadline, then I will procrastinate until the last minute, because everything else will take priority. So I try to make my artificial deadlines at least a week ahead of time. And it also makes me prepare the work quicker if I have an artificial deadline than if I have it far off in the future. And then on a personal level, I protect personal time. I try to give myself at least 2 hours a day to do whatever I want to do, not work related, whether that's just reading a book or going for a walk. I try to protect personal time every day. Otherwise, you're going to end up with burnout. I use automated scheduling like Calendly, and that they have a free version. So you can put the time blocks that you have available that people can schedule for meetings in there. And then instead of having a bunch of emails back and forth of what time are you available, you would have that in your email signature where people can just add that time to your calendar. That's kind of a double-edged sword, but I found it very helpful because I spent a lot of times going back and forth with email. I delegate a lot. So when I do my to-do list, if it's something that I think that somebody else could do, I will give it to them, even if it's a stretch goal for them, because there's benefit in them having something that's harder, that's important for them to do. Because as a team, it's what we do together as a team that's important. So I've learned to delegate more. That was hard at first, but I spend a lot more time delegating. And Sarah, you are correct. You have to know when to say no. That's hard for me because I am a yes person. So I have learned that my priorities, taking care of myself, taking care of my staff, the faculty, the staff, the students, and then my family. And I put everything through a lens of where does it fall within my priorities. And if if it doesn't help in my priorities, I've learned to say no. Because there's just not enough time in the day to say yes. And that has reduced my stress a lot. But it's still a learning process. It's not perfect. So here's my time blocks of my schedule. So I do like my daily highlight that varies, but I give myself at least an hour for that. In the morning, I work out every day. Otherwise, that's a whole stress thing. News is really just keeping up with what's going on in the grant world so that I can share it with faculty, staff, and students. I have focus time for 2 hours a day, and I have office hours. Now, this all sounds great, like I've got it all together, but no, the phone will ring, and I pick up the phone if it rings, and emails can take you down. I get close to 300 emails a day, so that's a constant battle. I try to keep a work-life balance, so I try to walk at lunch or have lunch with colleagues. Meetings take over my life, so that happens too. This job is really in flux. But the key is to always be flexible and to know what your goals are for the day. So that daily highlight, and to make sure that I still have a work-life balance for myself. I think those are the most important things to prevent me from burnout. And then personal time, I protect personal time at all costs because if I don't, I know it leads to burnout because I've been down that road before. So here's some help to prevent burnout for you and your staff. In the evening, occasionally I'll do emails in the evening, but I try not to send it to any of the staff. I try to schedule their emails for the morning because I don't want them to feel like they have to respond to me. I try to be a role model for what I want others to do to protect themselves, to protect their own well-being. But I'm always available to listen to concerns. I am thankful I have a supervisor that is the same. I think that helps with burnout. Always show appreciation for a job well done. Now that's whether it's with if you have staff, but it's also family, it's with your colleagues. That will help both you and them showing appreciation and understanding that each other's workloads to some degree. And when you delegate, you don't have to have somebody working under you to delegate. You can delegate, with friends, with family, everybody wants to help each other, but I think we're all afraid to ask for help. And I think that, it builds a relationship both ways when you do ask for help. And then most important thing for me is make sure you're honoring your personal time, because that's the quickest thing to go away, especially in academia where you're trying to do all things at once, but make sure you're always taking care of yourself. So that is my all over time management strategies. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Because I do. Rachel, this was really, really, really fantastic. Let's wait for anyone questions. By the way, question number 1. When do you do workouts? Do you do it in the morning or in the evening?
I do it 4:30 every morning.
4:30 in the morning.
4:30 in the morning.
Okay, Andrea, we have another partner we can text in the morning and don't feel uncomfortable. Seems like women, we wake up like 4 a.m. or something. It's like normal text messages. Okay, that's great. By the way, I also do this like weekly kind of things. I have one notebook for weekly kind of. I call them milestones, but I list like big things to be done this week, like big vision things. But I like the idea that, okay, so life happens, right? But I like the idea that, okay, at least one thing has to happen each day. I like that. I like that tip. This was very, very helpful for me. Anyone, please don't feel shy. Today is not a
quickly jump in? I'm not sure how you can raise your hand in this Zoom call. Is there an option for that?
I think it's React, no? No?
Is there?
Yes, in React, if you click on React,
Oh,
yeah. But don't,
thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. I've learned something new today. I would just like to, is that not a question, more of like, I agree with you. As an intern here at the office, I am very appreciative of feedback, and I am very appreciative of a thank you. This is what allows me to be good at my job. This is what allows me to be motivated to come back each day, even if it's stressful, because I know that the respect is there and that I'm being seen and heard. And I think that is a base for a very good teamwork, because the team is what makes the workplace. We all sit with each other for 40 hours a week at least. So when that works, I think we're all more motivated to work and to get things done. So I think that's a wonderful point.
And I do want to add, Rachel, that you always listen. That we appreciate that you always are there for us. You know, you always keep our back covered. That's really, really important. We appreciate that. Anyone else? Or
Yeah, I would say yes. Thank you, our speakers, because I feel I am really into this topic, and my husband and some of my friends laughing all the time from me and say that I am always planning my day. I also have green notebook where I write what I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, and my husband sometimes says me, please note me in your book when we can meet in and spend some time. And really, I understand how crucial to plan our task when we have many options and many tasks for day. And really, I'm totally agree that we can left some time for our personal time with our family. And sometimes I love planning, but I left one day. I try do it left one day when I can uploading and even do nothing. And before, maybe several years ago, I feel confused that I'm resting. How I can do? Why I mustn't do it? I must work. I must write a program or something else. No. I try. I'm teaching. No teaching. I'm studying. Okay, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. I try to be to respond maybe my time. And I understand now that if we are working all the time, we really can come to burnout and depression and something bad stuff. So I try. You understand me, because I have many ideas, but not always I can explain and say what I really want. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Marina, and thank you for sharing this, because I think each of us have been can relate to what you were saying too. You know, so it's good to hear that we're not by ourselves. It's normal, and it's important to try see what works and what doesn't work. Before we go to Olha, Rachel, there was one more question. You mentioned one very good tip about setting up artificial deadlines. But you know, like for example, myself, I take your deadline more seriously than my own. So how do you stick to your own deadline? And it's really such a good way to avoid procrastination and stress.
Really, it's just where you prioritize it. You know, I make that deadline and I pretend it's somebody else's deadline, because I agree it's easier to ignore your own deadlines. But I make it my own deadline, because if I let it move, it will continue to move. It's not a real deadline anymore.
Uh-huh.
So really, it's just holding. You have to hold that deadline like it's somebody. I think it's my deadline, Hannah.
I see. I see.
Your deadline is my deadline.
Gotcha. Thank you. Victoria has a question. Victoria, let's have 2 minutes before we go to Ola. Victoria, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to ask for advice. Whether you set reminders for all your tasks, because usually I have all my plans in my Google Calendar, and I always put such reminders like alarms, and it rings, for example, at certain time what I'm going to do, or maybe not to forget during the week. What do you think, whether is it okay, or whether you do it or not, share your ideas or point of view, because sometimes I'm asking myself whether is it good, or maybe does it mean that I have a bad memory or something like that.
Oh, I do it too. I do the same thing. I put the reminders in there. I also share my reminders with the people I work with, so they know exactly what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. And so they think before they walk in my office, hey, what's she doing? And they can look at my calendar and see exactly what I am doing, what I'm thinking about, what they're going to be walking into when they walk in the office.
But that brings us to another question. Do you have accountability partner? Do you have somebody who can check with you on your task? Do you practice that? Like a friend, family member, apps? Do you do that?
I don't have an accountability partner.
Okay, you're a strong person. Awesome. All right, any other questions? If not, let's go to Ola. Okay, Ola, if the floor is yours. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, everyone, for good, nice questions. Okay.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah, we see.
So, hi everyone, my name is Olga Lashko. I am a teacher and PhD student. Today I'm going to talk about time management, how to organize the time and find time for yourself and for your family, and work as productively as possible. So why my experience is relevant? I am a teacher, so I manage lessons, preparing materials, and support my students. As a PhD student, I conduct research and academic writing. Also, I have 2 kids, so I'm balancing family responsibilities with my work and helping my students prepare for university entrance exams. So there are a lot of methods about time management, and here we have my favorite methods. There are Pomodoro technique, work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Eat that frog method, start your day with the most difficult task. Eisenhower matrix, that Sarah was mentioned about it. So important, urgent, not urgent, and another task we can put into this box and do it about the by importance and urgency. And a 2-minute rule: if a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Here you can see what helped me organize my time, power of planning. So I plan my day in advance to avoid chaos. You can choose a lot of apps. It may be TikTok or Notion or Google Calendar or something like this. To-do list, keep a to-do list with clear deadlines. Learn to say no. It's okay to say no to additional responsibilities if your plate is full. I like these methods but I can't do it now. So delegate tasks when others can handle them, and establish morning and evening routines for productivity. For example, I check my emails only twice a day to minimize distraction. So this is my schedule for this week, and this is my lessons in school, and a group of tasks which I do until 7 p.m. So I prepare lessons, check tests, and fill out documentation at school during my free time between classes. The rule is not to bring work home from school. Wednesday is research day. I do all the work related to my doctoral studies and writing my dissertation. Thursday is the day for important but not urgent tasks. On weekend, I don't plan tasks. Although urgent ones sometimes come up during the week, which I still have to do on the weekend, but there aren't many of them. Sunday is a day for myself and my family. Before I learned about time management, burnout was a common issue for me. So here you are, like my tips for burnout prevention. It's make your time for yourself, productive rest, healthy sleep, quality family time, and one work-free day per week. Also, in Ukraine, we have a lot of challenges. There are power outage, air raids, poor mental state, and a lack of motivation to do anything. But that is normal, and not completing something on the to-do list or choosing rest over work, and not doing tasks you don't want to do. You just need to say no on time. And for the conclusion, I want to say that time management is very important, but it's also essential not to get upset when things don't go as planned. Instead, we should be able to adapt to the situation and accept it calmly. Thank you.
Thank you, Ola. Thank you so much for sharing such a nice practical tips. Especially, I'm really grateful for you mentioning that it's okay that if something doesn't go as planned, right? We are normal people. Life happens, and it's okay to be kind to yourself, just as much kindness to others. So I really like that tip too, and that planning, like Andrea put, that you have the designated days, and I cannot manage. Don't bring work home. That's a struggle. I need to learn from you. I think it's a good time. We have like 10 minutes to share, to discuss, and ask questions. Does anyone want to go ahead and ask questions? Or we do have some prepared questions, by the way. But do feel free that you can share right now, because these talks were wonderful, and you can see they have common tips and common struggles. Let's start with the questions then. So, what was one of the practical time management strategy that you have tried and actually works for you? Can anyone share? Anyone? I know we have 38 people on the call, so
Hanne, I use the apps and Green Notebook. I can't say anything new, but I really love these tips that I have heard, and especially I would try to say no, my colleagues and my chief, because really sometimes I can't do it, and then I really can regret that I didn't this. So thank you.
thank you, Marina. Yesterday I had to say for the first time in my life, no. I felt so ashamed. I felt so guilty actually, but I had to do this.
And also, I really it was nice to see that when you are not okay, it's okay. When you are not okay, yeah. And when you understand this, when you feel it, and when you left some tasks, for example, if you have a headache, and maybe treat yourself instead of doing something, it's also okay. And when you are not excellent in all your tasks, it's also okay.
Exactly. Anyone else? We have many teachers in the call. Do you want to share your experience and your struggles, your challenges? And how do you deal with that? Christina, I see you want to say something.
Okay, hi everyone. Thanks for such a great lecture. Actually, it's quite I totally agree with you, yeah. And that time management, it's really important, yeah. Actually, I'm working with Oля, yeah, and I want to say she has just showed us the great presentation, but I want to assure you that that's really true because she does everything, yes, and I really admire her because sometimes, I'm new at this school. That's my first year, and sometimes I feel fuzzy. I come into our staff room after the lesson or when all the lessons are over, and I start moaning, what can I do? A lot of work. I'm so busy. I have a child. How can I do this? And she says, calm down, breathe. Everything will be fine. Don't worry. So she gives me advice, yeah, and I really appreciate this. That's really great. Sometimes she says, "Don't worry." She gives me a helping hand, and that's really great when you have somebody whom can you rely on, yeah, and that really helps you, especially when you are new and you don't know what to do, yeah. So even nowadays, we at school we are working online because we have a flu epidemic, something like this. So we are trying to study online, and we are using a new program, and it's new to me because I don't know how to do this. So I'm conducting a lesson and I'm chatting with her. So I'm saying, SOS, help me! I don't know how to do. I have some trouble. So. And according to time management, so that's important. And as for me, I can say that I'm really a well-organized person, but I'm trying to teach myself to do this, and I see the result. Yeah. So usually when I was studying, I was among those students who do everything. Put everything in the long list. Yeah, I'm not doing anything until the evening. So I do everything, but when I need to study, I put it into a long list maybe. Yeah, I start in the evening.
my parents always said, why do you wait so long? And why don't you study when you come home? And why don't you start studying? And I say to my parents, my brain can't turn on until my lamp is turned on my desk. So when it's dark outside and my lamp is on, so that's like a signal to my brain, so that's the time for you to work. And even nowadays when I work, I have a lot of things to do at home, so I have lessons at school, but I take a lot of things at home. I have to check some tests, to do some documentation, so and I'm doing the same thing. Yes, I do it at night, and that's really bad. I'm struggling with this, but I can't do anything. I come home and I start doing it when at 2 o'clock, at 3, yeah, but still it's not productive. Yeah. So when I start it in the evening, I spend maybe the whole night or half of the night, yes, and then I complete this. In the morning I'm exhausted. Yeah. I don't have enough sleep, but still I can't do anything with this. I don't know. Maybe you can help me how to start working during the day and not to postpone everything. Yeah. So I don't. That's the main problem. And yeah, I've
Thank you.
lost what I wanted to say. Maybe.
Thank you. You're raising a very good question about procrastination. We have that question in our slides. Don't feel, many people feel like you, so don't feel like you're alone, that you have the struggle. I think just a second, Shahad. I think the challenge is you just have to try different things and find what works for you. Maybe your most productive time is afternoon from 7 p.m. to 9. It can be just your nature, can be that, you just have to try different things. That I think that's what the hardest part with time management. You learn these techniques, but then somehow you have to find which one works for you. That's the key, but you have to try. So before we go to that question that you actually raised, that is it's very, very important. Shahad has a raised hand, so let me give you
Yeah.
yep. Shahad, would you like to share? You raise your hand. Do you have a question or comment? Shahzad, I'm not pronouncing your name, so sorry. Oh,
Shazad, can you hear us?
Shahzad.
Okay. Oh,
Yes, thank you, Andrea.
Assalamu alaikum. Everyone is very fine. My question is main time, and I am is the primary school teacher in the government of the Punjab in Pakistan. I am very discuss. You are discussed is that time management. I am very well is feel to better, and my question is time management is difficult is. But if is including to the goals and others times, then we are managed to easily. We that is very excellently, we will manage the time management.
Thank you. So setting up the goals and prioritizing things, that's a good tip. Thank you so much, Shazad. Thank you so much. And let me, the last thing that I would like to share, this is the last thing for today, is that we mentioned on this, we touch upon with Christina reflections, we touch upon procrastination. This is one of the biggest things, right, that many of us are struggling. So can you put in the chat window? Thank you, Andrea. So this is when you're procrastinating, what is usually the main reason? I think this question just for us to reflect on this, maybe learn from each other if you have some practical tips to address this procrastination. So you have several options, and if your option is not there, just put in the window your option, okay? So yeah, so let's see. Let's please take your time and answer the questions on the poll that just appeared.
Everybody, one more minute.
Oh, yeah.
For me, several options apply.
Okay,
Maybe
we're at 15 now. Okay, almost there, getting closer. Try to get a few more in. Okay. All right. 10 more seconds.
I feel like I'm a master of procrastination.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end the poll now. Okay, let's look at the results.
Okay.
Can everybody see?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so it looks like A is pretty dominant here. So I feel overwhelmed and don't know where to start. And I struggle with perfectionism. This is something I talk to my doctoral students a lot about because they're so set on making sure their writing is perfect, but nothing's ever really perfect, right? So we just have to do it and improve it. Okay, what else is pretty common? E, lacking motivation, and then getting distracted. I get distracted a lot with emails and social media, especially LinkedIn, and working better under pressure and delay intentionally. Okay.
Here we want to share some practical tips how you can overcome some of these procrastination issues. Like for overwhelm, break task into smaller manageable steps. It's such a nice thing that works, and this 25 Pomodoro trick can work really nicely. For distraction, like it's the same thing. Try to use Pomodoro because it's like you say to yourself, oh, it's 25 minutes only, right? It's not a big deal. It can be 15 minutes, but the trick I think is to start, and then it can, you can start getting involved with this. For pressure driven, yeah, Rachel, that's your tip. Use artificial deadlines, but the sticky part is how to stick to the trust yourself. That's my personal struggle. And for perfectionists, I think this is very hard one we can see, right? Many people struggle with the same. So aim for the progress. I think here we have a saying, perfect is enemy of good. Is it correct? That get something done is better than nothing get done. So so try that one. And for motivation, I think my son's piano teacher, he said, Andrew, motivation works for 1 or 2 days, but after that is a discipline. I think he was correct. So use external accountability, like set small rewards or find an accountability partner is one of the tips that you can use probably. I think, like for example, like when we are working on the project, like with time with Ukraine, having like Andrea pinging me or Ola pinging me, it helps. Like somebody else is right working on the task, and it's a great motivation. So I guess finding the people who can work with you, it probably will be my kind of 5 cents to add to this. Anyone else wants to share, like based on this on these results and these reflections? We have 2 minutes left, so you have only 2 minutes left to share. Anyone?
I would say maybe if we can't manage it and do all our tasks, it will be our growing zone for growing and for doing this maybe even better next time, and it could be also normal.
Kira,
Thank you, Marina. And sorry, there was some distraction. Can we, Shazad, sorry, can we mute you? Yes, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Marina. I think time is up, so really grateful to the speakers and also presenters and speakers and everybody who was involved here today. I hope we learned something new that we can use in our practical life, but even if this is one lesson, it's already a very big win, step by step. I think with time management and self-care and self-work, right? I think every step, small step, is actually a big win. So we wish you all your own personal wins and be successful in what you do. And very grateful for you to be here with us today. I like that we can share, we can learn from each other, we can support each other. If you need accountability partner, let us know. We will be happy to do that. So thank you so much for great presentation and for being here today. And all the best to you.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Have a good evening or day. Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Nice to see you. Hi, Vera.
Hi.
So nice to see you. I love your haircut. So pretty.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Thank
really
you.
good.
Oh, I will film
Oh,
microphone.
yes. Yeah, I'll stop
Okay,
recording.